Good evening and welcome to this edition of Tok Piksa. Menyamya in the Morobe Province is a district isolated and forgotten. In the 1970s, a small government outstation was developed into the main center for the people to get basic government services. 40 years on, most of the public services in the district, built 4 decades ago, sadly remain unchanged. The services are crumbling, and according to the Menyamya people, successive governments have neglected them. In tonight's show, Edwin Fidelis speaks to the Menyamya people who are feeling the pinch of poor service delivery in this remote district of Morobe Province.
Menyamya district in the Morobe Province is tucked away on the borders of Morobe, Gulf, Eastern Highlands and Southern Highlands provinces. It is remote and isolated, making the district one of the difficult places in Papua New Guinea to live in. It's a district so hard to manage because its population is scattered in villages along the ridges and valleys. To get to Menyamya, it requires an 8-hour journey on a 4-wheel drive vehicle on this road, and the ride is not always comfortable. This is Menyamya station, where most of the government services can be found. The people live a relatively harmonious life in this isolated part of Morobe. It's a rich area with much of its culture still well preserved. Menyamya used to have one of the best government structures in Papua New Guinea in the 70s, 80s and 90s after the colonial administrators left. It had an active rural air service and district works machinery that made sure the district was kept connected. But over the years, it slowly crumbled. Most of its airstrips closed and the road eventually left to deteriorate. And like anywhere else in Papua New Guinea, the impacts of a failing government system was felt by the ordinary people.
Na mibla no lugu wombla service la government intel community bla mibla no lugu wombla gubla samje intel community bla sem na mibla ikat bibla wari lotis la.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning and John Anje Kuye, the health officer at Menyamya Health Center, has just finished his usual ward rounds to check his patients. There were only 6 of them that morning.
Sometimes I come 2 plus or 3 plus. Okay, another place sit down on bed. Okay, 2 plus or 1 plus by all by carrying the cement. Okay. Yeah.
And inside the 1 plus week or
inside the one plus day. Okay, inside the 1 plus week and by 4 plus or 5 plus by come inside. Yeah. On mama carrying.
all number all babies are dying, mama are dying. You should look lama stay.
Long time all come inside here, all picking inside die. Because me bless I 7 more. Na all carry the place, and all by die. Now who shall struggle hardly go along the time and that's all by die.
This will be his 40th year working as a nurse in a health center that doesn't have staff to man the clinic 24 hours and 7 days a week. And people rarely visit this health facility to seek medical attention. While filming this story, I met Felix Lacora with his wife and 3-year-old son.
Me want them, me boy blow me want them. Me say me blah team live blow boya, na me to block kamandap.
His son is suffering from a measles outbreak in Kaintiba of the neighboring Gulf province. Fearing the health of his son and the deteriorating state of health services in Kaintiba, he made a 2-day journey to Menyamya to seek medical attention for his son.
Lo place lo mi straight iwo wuye na au six stab long em hau bangun na sub district em Kaintiba na district blon bla em Kerema province em Karle lo au six blon bla lo hau bangu em ikat au six but me pore doncha 150 black sick patient only stop na au say no bibla em mosem square au say nancha habia hadlo mi blam vaccine win on chakain meeting live long en bonde mi na mi kisem kamosam na now mi say men na boy now I'm alright.
Felix is one of the 70,000 men, women and children who continue to face this life every day.
Lo mi blam lo Kandiba em mi blam le wo bot kamosam lo chobin lo here or kisem marasin lo here em blam say kam lo two nights. One night, wabati kam seblo namel tulunge kamabloya. Ralo tesino kisi marasin finish and non bless I go back. Save one night lab, kamablo place.
Many stories come from villages nearest to the road. Others who inhabit the interior have their own challenges.
Over the past 40 years, Menyamya has been battling a battered image of poor services delivery in health, education and road infrastructure. Government neglect and poor management within the district has contributed towards a degrading public service. The people's confidence in the government has eroded over those years. Earlier this month, the Prime Minister, Peter O'Neill, visited Menyamya with the hope of regaining lost confidence.
For the first time in many years, the people of Menyamya witnessed a significant change in their district's history. Earlier this month, the Prime Minister, Peter O'Neill, the Morobe Governor, Kelly Naru, and the local MP, Benjamin Philip, led a team of bureaucrats to Menyamya. This will be the third time that the Prime Minister has visited Menyamya district since forming the government coalition. And when he came to officiate at the commissioning of Menyamya Secondary School, the people celebrated.
Thank you, also Martin, all people from Menyamya.
The Prime Minister brought with him good news for the Menyamya people.
Because everybody in Menyamya is sawe. Also Menyamya makes him 10 million kinalo one year. Everybody in Menyamya sawe also amas money go to provincial government. Amas money national government put him the one project. So people are supporting work block coffee in agriculture, making talk straight also. That's like last visit.
Menyamya is one of the least developed districts in the Morobe Province because of its remoteness. This year, with increased funding, the district is gradually seeing some changes.
Mila talking you plus straight. Menyamya, and make it plant the sunny soil here. Money me plus spend him, fix him road. Me plus come up in high school. Me block come up in secondary. Me block walk him. Plank and walk here. Papu niki can sabe osem. Menyamya. I mean walk senis. You know some I say. You know some 10 years ago. Now you can look in plant something walk change. More development walk come up here. Who said talk or some? Menyamya me not change. Who said talk?
Menyamya is a place heard of but largely ignored over the years. Much of its district's funding is taken up by costs of delivering services alone.
Prime Minister Mila talking you. Long old man Mary, now you looking stop. Plan the long about 2-3 days now come up here. Now Menyamya I mean one blood top district inside long Papua New Guinea. Now Mila talking you. Me repeat him yet. Time you miss scaling money, Prime Minister. Mila talking me awesome. Kind district awesome Menyamya. Me billing awesome. Lord DSIB, you must give him little more on top. Because cost of delivery and man top too much. You know not long. Met him. All electrons were district were stop cross to Lord Nambisa. And more easy. You know not by costing more on building one block classroom. For example, suppose you give him 200,000 now you talk as a Prime Minister. You by walking tupla house. Me like talking me lawyer. Me plan by walking inside of value blow 200,000. Lawyer by me plan walking one plan. Not long. Tamblo layer one him up and ball walking two plan now lawyer one plan. So me plan look him this la. You not can match him. You not can weigh him. One kind of you not can class him now you talk. Oh God district back is him one kind of DSIP.
A huge portion of its DSIP fund for next year will go towards the rebuilding of its roads, the construction of a new hydropower station, and the upgrading of its ailing public services. But first, the government will be looking at fixing the Aseki-Menyamya highway that will link the district with Bulolo town and Ley City.
That's the road come up finish. Now today we can talk him again. Suppose me come lo Menyamya lo 2017 na mino finish him road lo me lo come lo Menyamya lo there's a time please not can vote him candidate me put him land. Not can vote him. Now we can committee him as a government but finish him this road he come lo Asiki he come lo Menyamya. By me finish him.
Like anywhere else in Papua New Guinea, leaders voted through the national elections are seen as the drivers behind the delivery of goods and services. But political rivalry in Papua New Guinea is one factor that remains a major hurdle to effective service delivery.
Listen carefully. There's a seat now me hold him. Member Blong, Menyamya Aseki, and Blong all beginning in Menyamya Aseki. Me ba put him hand on that Blong and time be go down. Mami talk, you beginning Menyamya Aseki, you kiss him. You Blong, long way up. You have class number here. You can't make it when a number there work stop longer time now. You like come up, member. Now I'm in a place for you. You can go to your area you come from. You go and stand for election. This is not your place.
With increased funding from the national government, Menyamya would expect new developments. On their list of priorities is the Menyamya to Aseki road upgrade, the construction of a hydropower station, boosting its agriculture sector and revitalizing its rural air service. But many say it may take years before tangible developments can be felt by Menyamya's people.
On average, it takes 5 hours to travel to Menyamya from Ley during good weather. But during bad weather, it may take all day. These locals are setting up a blockade in an impassable section of the highway between Menyamya and Aseki. They are patching huge craters of holes on the road and are collecting fees from every vehicle that passes through. One of the factors discouraging development in this part of the province is a service delivery mechanism that isn't working as well as it should.
Member staff, council staff, president staff, okay, something must spread. The money are finished nothing this region. I'm not saying poor people.
Menyamya district is an important one too. They are one of the main contributors of Morobe's organic coffee. But the bad road has driven up freight costs for coffee farmers to ferry their coffee bags to Leh. All they want is good roads that link this part of the province with Leh city.
Now this time last year kamu say now road morai lili lo mibla. Before time lo 90s kamu say mibla saksi time straight. Lo tamplo ikamata lo asigi this lab lo wesa mibla sa kam time le tanole. Mibla sa plan di car bagarab lo slab nubla car sa kam cholem sa kam bagarab lo slab. Iglo mani sa west lo this lab lo olaya man sa karim kau kam or sa rausim gian lab. Yang transfer nar belakar car seksi kamata dan big after mi pas actually this lab.
Morobe is a big province and administering the entire province is not easy. In September every year, the Tutumang, Morobe's provincial House of Assembly, chaired by the governor, meet to discuss the provincial budget. Each member of Morobe's 9 districts is expected to present their district plans containing priority projects to assist in the provincial budget planning. Since taking office, the Morobe governor, Kelly Naru, has been having difficulty convincing his other 9 MPs to submit their district priority project plan, and that has angered the governor. During his visit to Menyamya, Governor Naru has again echoed those sentiments.
Passing long mibla long broken money na broken budget na working work. Emisa start long tamlo na kamatap. Also na long miyet. Long 9 pla district blomi, ogara member long parliament blomi long 9 pla district. Long this player mi salim talk long number 4 muniet April yet mi talk osem. Last year too mi salim talk long April yet. Mi talk you got one kind project, you got one kind thing inside our district. You give me na imitibla putting one time na ba me pla planning because long budget na kisim budget ko almost be all approve him na imi working work. That's all. Member blomi pla long Menyamya time make him sila pasiko. Emi no come back lomi. Na emi no give project long him.
Much of the districts in Papua New Guinea rely on the DSIP fund of 10 million kina from the national government to develop its districts. The provincial government doesn't have power over how this money will be used, and for a remote district like Menyamya, a large portion of these 10 million kina is taken up by mostly freight costs.
Now, every second year, next year will be third year, time you may put in another 10 million every year. Next year, but you may have him go on tablet more yet. Close to 5 million lo 1-1. So many of us 15 million kina lo DSIP lo next year.
The Prime Minister, during the visit to Menyamya, told the people that Menyamya will get an additional 5 million kina to its 10 million kina DSIP, a total of 15 million kina for next year. In Papua New Guinea, political leaders are seen as the deliverer of services.
The money are finished nothing this region. I'm not saying poor people. People will me staff. I'm not thinking me staff. Big talk when man.
Here at Menyamya, the ordinary people aren't concerned about the politics of Tutumang or Waigani. All they want is the delivery of services that they deserve.
People in Menyamya no substrate. District no run good. No got proper management. Lo district so. Oshena throughout the country, Mahokadaman or Sabe Peninsula, Miblo, Menyamya, substrate.
But the question on how the DSIP fund is to be used in the district still lingers.
Na mirang logo tablo country, mi talking more man meri. Suppose gaman blo mipla, gaman blo mi yet mipla I walk him desla walk blo. Ranim country suppose you bena walk him good blo walk. Please no can wasting vote blo you, no can vote him mipla campaign.
While Menyamya district may see some positive changes over the next few years, it is still a long way off for Papua New Guinea as a nation.
That's the show for tonight. If you didn't catch it from the start, you can see a replay of it on Wednesday evening. And until we do this again next Sunday, I'm Neville Choi. Thanks for watching.